Hi students, welcome to Makerspace class distance learning edition. This video is basically to go over the expectations and the format for the distance learning for our Makerspace class. So you will receive the same information if you attend our class meeting on Tuesday, but this is going to be posted as well within an ed puzzle to make sure that if you missed class that you can still get the information. So one of the first things we'll talk about when we start class, of course, is how are we all doing? Because we haven't seen each other in over a week and a lot's going on. So just be nice to just kind of check in and see how we're all doing and say hi and whatnot. All right, so then we will move into business for the next few classes. So I'm sure some of you might be wondering, what are we going to be learning? We don't have access to the machines. We don't have access to Adobe software at the moment, anything like that. My original plan was to continue on with electrical and to make our way into Arduino programming. And so fortunately, there are online resources available to practice working with circuitry. So we are going to continue on that path. For the first few classes, though, we are going to be starting slow, as you've probably heard from your other teachers. We're all getting used to this new way of working and learning. For the first few classes, we're not really going to be doing anything new per se. We'll be going over what we learned in the lab earlier in the semester, talking about current, voltage, and resistance, and then we'll move on to review and kind of hone in our knowledge and understanding of different electrical components and what they actually do in a circuit. And then we will go from there. So I have a unit guide that is posted in Google Classroom, and that's the reason why I didn't put this in full screen, because I'm going to hop over to our Google Classroom right now. And if you go to our Makerspace class page, you'll see there's a distance learning info post that I'm going to try and keep at the top of the feed for a while, at least until we all get used to this. There is a document in here called the Makerspace Unit Guide, and I will be continuing to update this as we go, and it basically is going to summarize what we're going to be doing class by class. So this is where you can go to see where we're headed and what activities and assignments you're going to be given and all that. Keep in mind, though, you will get like a daily Google Classroom post that also has all of this in it. So you don't necessarily have to look at this all the time. This is more of a general overview, and I'll continue to update it. So that's what I mean by the unit guide. Okay, so how's this all gonna work? As you guys have probably already experienced, the abbreviated blocks have their specific times. So H block on day 2 runs from 10:30 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. I am making the Google Meets available for check-in time. I'm also in our distance learning post is the link to that Google Meets. So I will be on there, assuming my internet is working, and available to answer questions, to check in, etc. This is a great opportunity if you need help with stuff or if you have questions. This is going to be the primary time that I'll be available for help. Of course, if there's an extenuating circumstance, I can work with you individually to try and come up with an alternate time. So participation in these class meetings is encouraged, but it's actually not required. So if you're doing fine with your assignments, you're keeping up with your work, you're feeling good about things, and you don't necessarily want to check in that way every day, I'm not going to require that. We're going to talk more about attendance in a moment. So just, of course, something that's very important, which I'm sure your other teachers have also gone over, that even though we're not physically in school, we're still in virtual school, and the conduct expected of you is the same as what it would be in a normal classroom. So, of course, refraining from inappropriate language, wearing school-appropriate clothing, and refraining from disrupting the virtual learning environment. That could mean any sort of, or all sorts of things, tampering with settings and features within Google Meets, being disruptive sound-wise, etc. So we need to behave ourselves. Okay. So how do we log attendance? So teachers are required, as you probably know, to log attendance by 2 o'clock each day. And in order to be marked present, you must check in with your teacher in some shape or form. I want to make this easy for all of us. So the way that I am doing this is I've created a Google form that you can fill out each day to mark yourself as present. I actually have it in that same posting. It's right here. And I believe I can show you what it looks like. Yeah, here it is. 2 questions. Are you present? And an optional question asking if you need help or if you have a concern. So you don't even have to fill this question out unless you have an issue, and that will allow me to address it with you, follow up, etc. So you can save this link, you can bookmark it, whatever, because it's going to be the same every day. You just keep going in and filling it out, and that will log your attendance for the day, and that will tell me that you have checked in. So next we have, oh, sorry, one last thing. So once again, if you do not check in by 2 p.m., if I do not see your information on that form, I will have to mark you as absent, and I can't reverse that until you email me with an extenuating circumstance, and then I have to forward that on to others in order to have that corrected. So please be sure that you do that. The next thing, Google Classroom daily posting. So in there, I'm going to put everything you need for a particular class day. It'll have resources, it will have assignments, it will have possibly a Google Slides presentation, an Ed puzzle activity, etc. And it will be your one-stop shop for everything you need for that particular class day. It will have a due date on it, and all you have to do is complete the work and make sure that everything is complete and turned in by that due date. And as you probably already know, since this will be the last class of our full day 1, day 2 rotation, you probably already know that this does not mean that you have to spend that H block class time working on this work. Not for my class. You can check in and then do your work at 6 o'clock at night later that evening. It's fine. Whatever works for you, as long as you're getting your work done and it's accurate and it's coming in on time. So that is work to do. So for today, we're starting out really simple because we're all, of course, getting used to the new work environment of working from home and learning from home. And we're all going to learn together as we continue to experience all this. And we're going to adapt and adjust as we go. So the platform that you guys will be using to do the circuit simulation is called Tinkercad Circuits. And you can, your thing for today, one of 2 things, is to get on Tinkercad Circuits using this URL. Then you will log in and click the button that says Student Join Class. It's a big green button. Then you will put in this code, and it's kind of weird how it works. You actually have to put in a nickname, and I've already created your nicknames for you. So the format is first name, last name as it appears in PowerSchool, okay, with 2020 at the end. And then you should be in. And then I will be able to see the circuits that you build on my end and give you feedback as we go along. But for now, you don't have to do anything in the Tinkercad, just join the classroom and get in. The last thing that you have to do is log into Ed Puzzle, confirm that you're part of our class, and there is an assignment in there that basically kind of summarizes this video itself and asks some questions, some understanding checks. So please complete that as well. And that is it for the day. So also, this slide here, I'm going to be posting the original slides presentation in Classroom as well for you to look at as a reference. If anybody has any questions during our class meeting, I will put them in here and you can take a look at those as well. If I don't change the slide, it's because there were no questions. So that's pretty much it. I am available during the day through email, through Google Classroom, and that Google Meets link should be active during our class period, assuming that I don't have any internet issues. And that's pretty much it. See you online.